Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are zeroing in on a story where failure was quite literally the most successful path a hero could possibly take.
We are definitely leaving the spreadsheets behind for this one. We're heading straight into ancient Persia for a deep dive into the classic tale, The Three Princes and the Magic Bird.
And what a journey it is. The specific part we're looking at is called The Arrow That Found a Fairy. And our starting point is this question of destiny, really. What happens when the tool you use to win a worldly prize, a crown?
Right.
What happens when it instead finds the one thing you never ever expected? In this case, a fairy princess's heart.
That whole mechanism, the misfire that becomes a miracle, that is our mission today. We're going to unpack the structure of this story and look at how these tests of, say, wealth and skill, they fail.
They completely fail.
And they're replaced by a much more profound test of character and fate.
So to set the stage for you, we are in ancient Persia. A powerful sultan is gravely ill, and he's got three sons, Hussein the eldest, Ali the middle son, and then Ahmed the youngest.
And the sources are very specific here. They call Ahmed the kindest and most curious.
Which is basically a giant signpost, right? The narrative is already telling you who to root for.
Oh, absolutely. It's the ultimate cheat sheet in these kinds of epic stories. The hero's heart is always, always the most valuable asset. It's way more important than, lineage or money.
And that character is put to the test immediately. The Sultan lays down the first challenge: bring back the most wondrous thing in the world to save my life. The winner gets the throne.
And just like that, the brothers are off on three very different quests of acquisition. Hussein, the eldest, he goes to Biznagar and buys the classic fantasy item, a magic carpet.
Of course.
Right? Instant global transport. It's all about speed and logistics.
Then you've got Ali, the middle son. He travels to Shiraz and finds an ivory telescope. This is the intelligence asset.
Exactly, the intel. It can see anything, anywhere, no matter how far. So it represents knowledge, surveillance.
And then we get to Ahmed. He wanders to Samarkand, and what he finds sounds almost underwhelming at first. A small ruby apple?
Just an apple. But the merchant tells him it heals every illness, even those at the door of death. The price, though.
The price is Ahmed's life.
Yeah, a steep price. So if the other brothers got their marvels with wealth, with money, Ahmed got his with sacrifice.
And that really highlights the first crucial layer here. The apple isn't just a cure. It's a symbol of his willingness to give up everything for his father.
It is. That demonstration of virtue, it complicates the Sultan's choice right from the very start.
But here's the critical point, and where the story gets so clever. When the brothers meet up again, they realize none of their items are enough on their own.
Exactly. This is where it stops being a simple competition. Ali looks through his telescope, and the knowledge he gets is just devastating. Their father is dying this very moment.
So the telescope provides the timing, the urgency.
Right. And that urgency means you need speed. So Hussein's carpet is deployed, providing that instant transport they desperately need to get home.
But when they get there, neither speed nor knowledge can actually cure him.
Nope. Only Ahmed's ruby apple, the thing bought with sacrifice, can do it. And it saves the Sultan instantly.
So back to the test. Bring back the most wondrous thing to save my life. How on earth does the Sultan choose? The source is clear. The three gifts made a single miracle.
And that's the genius of the setup. It puts the Sultan in this philosophical bind. He can't logically pick one. If he picks speed, he invalidates knowledge. If he picks the cure, he invalidates the things that got the cure there in time.
So he's stuck.
Totally stuck. So he has to abandon the test of acquisition entirely.
Which leads us right into section 2. He introduces a completely new test to break the tie: archery. Forget the magic stuff. This is about pure skill. Farthest arrow wins the crown.
And this transition is just structurally brilliant because the story shifts from external things, what the sons own, to an internal metric, what they can do.
So Hussein shoots 100 paces. Ali shoots 200 paces. Very respectable. It's simple. It's measurable.
Yeah, a clear hierarchy. But then Ahmed, the kindest and most curious, he draws his bow.
And his arrow. It just doesn't land. It vanishes. It goes into the sky like a shooting star. No one saw where it fell.
From a moral perspective, he's lost. I mean, he didn't even come in third. His entire effort is just void. The brothers laugh at him, say the arrow's gone forever.
And this moment of apparent failure is the pivot for the entire rest of the story. The first test was about cooperation. The second was meant to be about skill. But for Ahmed, it becomes about something else entirely.
His curiosity. It takes over. The text says he feels a strange pull in his heart, and he just starts walking, following the arrow's invisible path.
It's a difference between chasing the prize and just following your gut, isn't it? And it's not a short walk. It's 3 days and 3 nights. This journey transforms a political contest into a spiritual quest.
That's it. And it signals to us, the listener, that the worldly goal, the crown, that's not the real prize anymore. He's on a different path now, one that's only open to someone guided by heart, not by strategy.
And this journey finally leads him to a hidden valley. It's ringed by what the source calls impossible mountains. And there it is, his arrow.
But not in a field.
Not in a field. It's embedded in an iron gate. A gate set right into the rock. The very instrument of his failure is now the key to a hidden realm.
And the gate just swings open, not to a field of honor, but to a palace made of diamond and emerald, glowing with this light that has no source. I mean, he has literally stepped out of the mortal world.
Inside, he meets her. The fairy princess, Peri Banu. The descriptions are just otherworldly. Eyes like stars, hair like a cascade of night.
And the truth she reveals just flips the entire story on its head.
It really does.
She tells him that his arrow, it hadn't just flown far. 3 years ago, it passed through the realms of the air and it pierced her heart.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't the weapon in a contest. It was an instrument of destiny. It was preordained to connect them.
That is a massive twist. It completely converts this test of skill, archery, into a test of fate, of spiritual alignment. The Sultan was measuring distance, but the universe was measuring something else.
Commitment. Love. And Peri Banu immediately offers him the crown of her fairy kingdom. He's already achieved a destiny that is infinitely greater than the one his brothers are fighting over.
But here's the final proof of Ahmed's character. He refuses. He says he can't abandon his family, his mortal world.
Even after that world basically rejected him, his loyalty is still to them.
Yeah.
And that solidifies his virtue. So Peri Banu, she's impressed. She makes a pact with him, gives him a necklace of living diamonds.
You way to summon her.
Exactly. And then, with her enchanted wand, she sends him straight back to his father's palace.
So he returns with this quiet, profound power, which immediately triggers the darkest part of the tale. Human betrayal.
It's a necessary beat, though. See Ahmed return unharmed, but with his new confidence. The jealous brothers just pounce. They whisper poison to the Sultan. He traffics with fairies and sorcery.
It's just a harsh reality check. Ahmed was willing to die for his father. He's won this magical bride, and now, because of fear and jealousy, the very man he saved throws him in the highest tower. The ultimate injustice.
The human political system, it's driven by fear of the unknown, and it just rejected the most virtuous person.
Yeah.
He's literally trapped by the mortal realm he refused to give up.
But this is where the dynamic between the mortal and the supernatural really plays out. That first night, in chains, Ahmed rubs the diamond.
And Peri Banu appears in a shower of rose petals.
Yeah.
The intervention is absolute.
Total.
With a single touch of her wand, the iron prison transforms into a garden of silver flowers. The corruption of the tower is just gone, replaced by light. And she carries him away to her crystal palaces where they live for months in bliss.
The story needed that, I think, that period of removal. He had to be completely rejected by the kingdom of men before he could fully commit to this transcendent destiny.
But eventually, his mortal ties pull him back. He gets homesick. Peri Banu agrees to return, but she says they're going to make a grand entrance. She has to prove she's a fairy of light, not the sorceress his brothers claimed.
And notice this brilliant little detail. When they fly back, the source specifies they use Hussein's magic carpet and Ali's telescope to make the journey.
It's the ultimate synthesis. The mundane magical items from the first test are now integrated into the greater power of the fairy realm. It shows that those first gifts, they still have value, but only when they're guided by a higher purpose.
By wisdom. And the proof she offers the Sultan is just. It's overwhelming. It's designed not just to show power, but to show goodness, to counter the lies.
Her first miracle is a huge visual. A palace of pure gold just appears, floating in the sky above the city.
That'll get your attention.
It establishes her scale of power immediately. Her second miracle, though, is compassionate. She heals every single sick person in the entire kingdom with a wave of her wand.
Connecting right back to the ruby apple.
Perfectly. And then finally, she addresses the problem that started this whole quest in the first place. The Sultan's mortality. She touches his brow and grants him eternal youth. She fixes everything.
The Sultan is just completely overcome. He weeps, he embraces Ahmed, declares him the heir, and names Peri Banu the guardian light of our realm. The prize wasn't just the crown, it was the divine power she brought with her.
And the story ends with the creation of this dual kingdom. Ahmed and Peri Banu lived sometimes among men, sometimes among the clouds, and whenever sorrow touched the kingdom, they used their combined tools. His ruby apple, her enchanted wand.
They didn't just rule, they governed through healing and wonder. It's such a fantastic example of a quest where pursuing a worldly goal led, through what looked like total failure, to a destiny far, far richer than anyone could have ever planned.
It just beautifully shows that the true test of destiny isn't found in skill or acquisition. It's found in the direction of the heart, the arrow that missed the mark on the ground. It found its mark in the heavens.
The story closes with that powerful wish that every lost arrow find the love it was truly meant for. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Think about the times in your own life where a great effort, a shot you took for a specific goal, just seemed to vanish. Could that apparent failure actually be the exact force, the invisible key that is opening a gate to an unexpected, profound destiny you haven't even realized yet?
The path to the Palace of Light often runs right through the Valley of Impossible Mountains.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us. We'll see you next time.